Black pastors finally call out Maxine Waters. Hallelujah.
The world is an insane asylum, and the inmates are in charge.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Inverted Reality TV. I am your host, TL Swope, and we're going to talk about Mad Anti-Maxine today. It seems that she's in a little bit of hot water, finally, for a change, with the black community, i.e. the black pastors. I want to refer you to an article here again. Once again, one of my favorite sources is Breitbart. And we have here the title, Black Pastors Call on Representative Maxine Waters to condemn Louis Farrakhan's leftist hate speech. Of course, she never want to do that because anti-Maxine is about as left as they get. Okay, the subhead, first of all, this article is by Dr. Susan Berry, and the subhead says the head of the Coalition of Black Pastors says Representative Maxine Waters, Democrat of California, and the Congressional Black Caucus, CBC, must end their partisan hypocrisy and denounce leftist hate speech such as that proclaimed by anti-Semitic or anti-Semite and Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. Okay, I talked about the Congressional Black Caucus, and a lot of people did on their last shenanigans, which this article is going to mention. The article goes on to say, in a press release sent to Breitbart News, Reverend William Owens, president of the Coalition of African American Pastors, CAPE or CAAP, refers to Farrakhan's statement in a recent speech. White folks are going down and Satan is going down, and Farrakhan, by God's grace, has pulled the cover off the satanic Jew, and I'm here to say your time is up, your world is through. Owens observes Waters, Miss Maxine, of course, was among those present at Farrakhan's speech, which would not surprise me at all. Representative Waters' refusal to speak out against Farrakhan and other extremist hate speech is the perfect example of hypocrisy and moral cowardice of the Congressional Black Caucus, Owens says. Representative Waters lives in a multi-million-dollar home, a stark contrast to the poor district she represents. She manipulates African-American voters for her own gain, and she is just one of many black leaders who have sold out our values. And I say to that, bravo, bravo, Pastor Owens. It's about time. I've been calling out these clowns for the longest, and it's about time that the so-called men of God here get some cojones and speak out about what's right and what's just, and that definitely does not include anything that's even remotely close or near Maxine Waters. But we go back to the article, and there's a screenshot of members of the Congressional Black Caucus, one of them playing games on their phones. And it says here at the bottom, African-American pastors rebuke Congressional Black Caucus. A group of conservative African-American pastors rebukes the CBC as traitors to black Americans as it launches the midterm election campaign. The article goes on. In February, Waters appeared on the BET, for those of you who may not know, that's Black Entertainment Television, special program that focused on President Donald Trump's State of the Union address, though Waters herself did not attend the event as a protest against the president. She said, nevertheless, that Trump is a racist. Of course, she's the biggest racist of all. One speech cannot and does not make Donald Trump presidential, she said. He's not presidential. He never will be presidential. He claims that bringing people together, but make no mistake, he is a dangerous, unprincipled, divisive, and shameful racist. Now listen at those words. Here is a woman calling him unprincipled and divisive and a racist, and listen at her words. She just said, but make no mistake, he is a dangerous, unprincipled, divisive, and shameful racist. Oh, wow. Those are words of unity, Ms. Waters. Additionally, in January, a photograph of then Senator Barack Obama of Illinois and Farrakhan taken in 2005 at a meeting of the Congressional Black Caucus was released after a 13-year cover-up to protect Obama's political career. Owens joined civil rights educator Dr. Alveda King and other black leaders in February to publicly rebuke the CBC as a disgrace and traitors to black Americans. The leaders accused the CBC members of engaging in childish behavior during the State of the Union address, with their sulking in their seats, texting, and pretending to be disinterested. Without question, the CBC's foul demeanor has been a just cause to demand either represent or go away, Owens said at the time. I choose for them to go away personally. I make a strong plea to the black community to embrace this position with openness and hear us out. We have been sidelined by traitors in Washington and must engage. Owens and his group have launched a petition to hold the CBC accountable to the values and needs of the African American community. The petition further says many so-called civil rights leaders have lost touch with the moral values of mainstream African Americans. We watched for years as Democratic politicians offered African American platitudes and promises in exchange for political loyalty, Owens asserts, adding, in the meantime, Democratic policies reduced our inner cities to crumbling, crime-ridden, economic wastelands. And yet, we're supposed to continue on, not questioning the policy or politicians that brought us to this point. African American voters have had enough of the double standards and hypocrisy. There is a great hunger for moral leadership in this country. If the Congressional Black Caucus does not step up to that demand, they will find themselves in need of new jobs. Politicians like Maxine Waters need to step up or go home, Owens said. We've had enough of their partisan games. They're stooges of a party that enriches them but does nothing to help the African American community. And once again, I say bravo, bravo. I've done several videos on this subject about, black people stop being fools, various others. If you look through my channel, you'll be able to find them, and he's echoing the same things that basically I said. But I'm going to finish this article up, this little video up right now, and I'm going to leave you with some words of Malcolm X, who I really have never been a great big fan of him, but the man was smart and he had a lot of great ideals, and he had some strong words to say to the black community about the Democrat Party, and I'd like to leave you with that. And with that, please comment, rate, and share, and remember, as always, my friends, speak freely.
22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. They see that the whites are so evenly divided that every time they vote, the race is so close they have to go back and count the votes all over again. And which means that any block, any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You can keep Johnson in Washington, D.C., or you can send him back to his Texas cotton patch. You're the one who sent Kennedy to Washington. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first, and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republican. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you bash controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you, because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.